Welcome children to the fourth part of the video. So in this video we are going to learn about the rivers of North America. These are the principal rivers of North America. North America has large number of rivers. In the river, the major rivers are the Mackenzie, River, the Yukon, the Saskatchewan River in Canada, and the St. Lawrence. The St. Lawrence and the Great Lakes form one of the greatest inland waterways of the world. Inland, I've told you that the water does not meet any ocean, so that is why it's called inland. Let me show you the Great Lake and the River Lawrence. St. Lawrence. The Mississippi is the most important river of the continent. This is the most important and the principal river of the continent. Its main tributaries are the Missouri, the Ohio, and Arkansas. The Mississippi-Missouri River system drains a large part of the Central Asia of USA. The water of this river flows into the Gulf of Mexico. Let me show you this. There is a Gulf of Mexico. It then flows the water into the Gulf of Mexico. Here. The Colorado, the Columbia and the Rio Grande rise in the Rocky Mountains. The River Columbia is a great source of hydroelectricity power. The Rio Grande forms a part of the border between the USA and Mexico. Now please refer to page number 49 of your book. You can see the Colorado River. From here, it is rising from the Rocky Mountains, and Rio Grande passing through the Rocky Mountains, and Columbia River is a great source of hydroelectricity. North America has vast resources which have been well utilized. This have been made possible by using scientific method and machinery. They are well equipped with scientific method and machinery, so they can use the resources that was vastly existed there. They could utilize those resources well. So now let us talk about agriculture. Among the continents, North America is the largest food producer. This is true even though only about 12% of its land is cultivable, and a very small portion of its population is engaged in agriculture. North America is full of mountains and plateau region, so very small, less amount of land is left for cultivation. But North America produced this important food crops. Let us read about it. The use of scientific method of farming has made it possible that they are very good in producing the prime food crops there. North America are wheat, maize, corn, soya bean, barley, oats, potato, and rice. Wheat is the staple crop of North America. Staple is the dominant food crop, the main food crop. It is grown in the prairies of Canada and the USA. Both countries sell large quantities of wheat to the other countries. The important cash crops of North America are cotton, sugar cane, sugar, beet, tomatoes, bananas, groundnuts, and citrus fruit. Different kind of oranges and lemons. Pastoral farming. What is pastoral farming? Animal rearing. So it's a very important in North America. The continent produces large quantity of milk and beef. Raising cattle for beef is an important occupation in Canada, the USA and Mexico. The beef cattle are reared in large farm called ranches. So we have seen till now that the agriculture only 12% of land is available and very small portion of people are engaged in cultivation, but they are very equipped with the science and machineries, so they are able to produce this important crops, and they export the food items also like wheat and some other important food crops. Pastoral farming, they are good in animal rearing and they domesticate animal for meat and other purpose. Now mineral and industries. North America has large deposit of many important minerals. Its reserves of copper, silver, lead, zinc and nickel are among the largest in the world. It has good deposits of iron ore, gold and uranium, and large deposits of fossil fuel, coal, petroleum and natural gas too. So the continent is rich with natural minerals, which gives them huge economic wealth. It is rich in copper, silver, lead, zinc, nickel, iron ore, gold and uranium. Among the countries of North America, the US and Canada are the most industrialized. Heavy and sophisticated industries are found. Mostly in these two countries, the other countries have mostly lighter industries. The iron and steel industry, which is the backbone of industrialization, is highly developed in Canada and USA. So the mainly industries is situated in Canada and USA region. Okay, in Mexico there is very less amount of industries present. So are the automobiles, shipbuilding, heavy machinery, aircraft, electrical goods and computer, hardware and software industries. Fertilizers, paints, dyes, chemical, plastics, synthetic fibers, synthetic rubber, etc. are produced in Canada, the USA and Mexico. Many of the products are derived from the petroleum, which is produced in good quantity in the countries. Cotton, textiles, paper and beet, sugar are some of the important products of North America, agro-based industries. A large part of North America is under forests. Lumbering, cutting and preparing food for use, it is an important occupation of the people in many of the continents, many part of the continent. North America is a major producer of lumber, plywood, wood pulp and paper. The US and Canada are both leading producers of paper and pulp. Meat packing is another important industry. Children, read through this much, and in our next class we will cover transport and cities. So in this video we learned about, let's have a quick recap about what we have learned today. We have learned about the important rivers. The Mississippi was the most prominent and was most prime river of North America. Though the North America has a very less land for cultivation, but due to the atmospheric condition, like the mountains which are very high and covered with ice, snow, it of course turns into rivers. Rivers have different tributaries passing through mountains and plateaus, bring the most fertile land of the world to this continent, which resulted in good food crop. And this continent is very much rich in minerals. USA and Canada hold the maximum amount of industries, which result in overall development, economic development of the countries in the North America continent. So today we will do this much. Please go through the reading from your book, and in our next video we will continue the reading about transport and cities, case study and other part of the chapter.